All right, now let's jump in the ring. In the left corner, we have Robin Biro, Democratic strategist and former Obama campaign director. And in the right corner, Robert Bluey, president and executive editor at the Daily Signal. Gentlemen, welcome. Robert, Trump is taking a page, it seems, out of Biden's playbook and going with this message of unity. Former President Donald Trump returned to Capitol Hill just yesterday to rally GOP lawmakers ahead of the November election, where he met with House and Senate Republicans to lay out his second-term agenda if he wins. And despite lots of GOP infighting that we saw this past year, Trump had this to say.
There's tremendous unity in the Republican Party.
So, Robin, Republicans do seem actually to be unified now around him as their candidate. Do you feel like Democrats are unified around Biden?
Ooh,
well, not necessarily. I mean, if you look at Scott Rasmussen's polling, it seems that there are some Democrats who are dissatisfied with the incumbent president and would like to make a change. I think the fact that Trump emerged victorious overwhelmingly in the Republican primary speaks to the unity that Republicans have. Any time that a party is out of power, there's a desire to unify and come back together.
All right, Robin.
It's tough. I would love to say that Democrats are united, but as you've seen, as the polling shows, we've lost a huge chunk of the electorate from the Democratic Party, specifically from the Black community and Hispanic community, and that's problematic. So no, we are not unified. I wish we were.
So Trump says it also marked his first encounter since 2020 with Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, and that is because the senator had blamed him for January 6th. But McConnell ended up saying this about his meeting yesterday.
We shook hands a few times. He took questions from the audience, and it was an entirely positive session.
All right, says it was positive, Robert. Speaking of unity, one of Trump's biggest critics there, Mitch McConnell, he seems to be back on the Trump bandwagon. What caused his critics to forget their concerns about January 6th?
Well, Mitch McConnell is a lifelong Republican. I don't think there was any doubt that he would eventually come around and support Donald Trump. He's also a shrewd politician. He knows that the conservative voters are rallying to Trump, and it would make no sense for him to step out of line at this point. I mean, you even saw Mitt Romney at that meeting yesterday. So Republicans did come together in a show of good faith for Donald Trump.
I will say Mitt Romney says he's not voting for Trump. But Robin, we also saw the DNC try to take advantage of Trump back on Capitol Hill for the first time since J6. Is this something that's going to resonate with Democratic voters or any voter?
No, as Mr. Rasmussen just showed regarding polling, Democrats, my party, has to do a better job about messaging around inflation and the economy right now, the issues that Americans are actually talking about around the kitchen tables. We've got a messaging problem, to be honest.
And normally Democrats are really great with messaging. Let me ask you all this, because President Biden was in Italy at the G7 summit just a day after his son Hunter was convicted of 3 felony charges. There were other G7 leaders who behind closed doors reportedly said this is the worst that they've seen Biden. Robin, Biden reportedly calls Hunter every day and is very worried about his son, who has another trial coming up in September. Do you think that this could be a distraction for Biden and ultimately be his demise?
I'm so glad that you brought that up. Look, I'm a parent of 2 school-age children, and I can just give you anecdotally, you know, it's at the forefront of my brain. If one of them is struggling with something, that is grinding in my brain constantly. And I think you're right. I think that Biden is absolutely distracted by what's going on with his son Hunter, whom he loves very much.
Can I ask you this real quick? Do you think that voters notice that he is aging?
Oh, gosh, yes, definitely. But look, I think he's doing his level best for somebody who's 81 years old. I just got to be honest with you. Today is Trump's birthday. He just turned 78. Whether I'm 78 or 81, I don't want to be president. I want to be sitting on a front porch rocking.
Well, Trump clearly does want to be president, Robert. You know, due to his legal challenge, and Trump has slammed the Justice Department for weaponizing, being weaponized. How difficult do you think these new felony convictions against Hunter make it for him to continue claiming foul on our justice system?
Oh, well, I mean, let's face it. It's Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. Hunter Biden is not on the ballot, so I don't know how much of a factor that will play. I'm sure with some people it will, but we've known about Hunter Biden's problems for many years. I think what Donald Trump is rightfully pointing out is that there has been an effort, particularly with the New York case, of the Biden administration to intervene, sending the number 3 person from the Justice Department to New York and having a George Soros-funded prosecutor try this case. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that the American people see what it is, a politicization of the legal justice system.
Robin, final word here.
I actually agree with Robert here. I don't think that this matters that much to voters, but I'm glad that we're getting sunlight on the issue, because sunlight's always the best disinfectant, and we needed more transparency.
All right, I appreciate this civil conversation. Thank you both for getting in the ring. Good to see you, Robin. Good to see you, Robert.